What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Neeks Sports. It is match day, match time. The lineups are out. Manchester United at home. Manchester United at home to Fulham. The fans are back at Old Trafford. Yes, finally. Finally, the fans are back at Old Trafford. And Solskjaer has gone very, very strong for our final home game of the season. The home form, which has been very, very poor. Let's keep it 100. It's been completely poor this season. And it's a chance for these players to send the fans off into the season. Of course, we know we've still got a couple of games, one in the league and one in the cup final, but send the fans off what's been a very difficult season for everyone because of COVID, etc., lockdown. Send them off with some glory. Send them off with something, some happiness, especially with everything that's happened in the last few weeks with the Super League. We know we don't want the Glazers there anyway, Super League or no Super League. And I think it's just a way to show the fans from the players that, we are all united as fans and players. The people above that, we can't speak to that. But Solskjaer's gone very strong. What I would say, before we get into the lineup, there's been a bit of talk about the future of Dean Henderson. I literally just saw a Sky News report because Dean Henderson's out of this game. It says that top clubs across Europe look set to battle it out for Man United keeper Dean Henderson this summer as his future at Old Trafford hangs in the balance. The 30-year-old, Henderson has been dropped for today's game with Fulham after an extensive run over David De Gea, who replaces the England international despite his own future at United being uncertain. The 30-year-old Spain stopper also looks likely to get the nod for next week's Europa League final, raising more doubts over Henderson's future. Henderson has made it clear he will only stay at Old Trafford if he is Solskjaer's number one. Let's see. In February, before Henderson's extensive run, Sky reported that Tottenham and Borussia Dortmund lead a string of interested clubs. Chelsea and AC Milan were also reportedly keen on him. Henderson took over league duties from David De Gea at the start of March, with United 5th in the league. And since have only lost, what, 5th in the league? No, we weren't 5th. No, we weren't 5th in the league. I don't know why this says we were 2nd. We weren't 5th in the league in March. And since then have only lost 1 in 9 to secure 2nd place in the Premier League. That's a very, very strange. I think they got that wrong. Anyway, it says the ex-Sheffield United loanee looked to have cemented his place with high-quality performances in crucial matches away to City, Tottenham, Real Sociedad and AC Milan. But a below-par performance in the 4-2 defeat to Liverpool last week looks to have been the catalyst for David De Gea's return as first choice against Fulham. And it appears for next week's final in Gdansk, the David De Gea will be starting. Sky News understands that United are yet to make their goalkeeper plans for next season clear and will discuss Henderson's future at the club in the next 2 weeks. Privately, the club does not believe David De Gea and Henderson will both be at United next season. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. What I will say is, make sure you smash the like button when you're there. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. What I would say is this. I think David De Gea starting this game doesn't tell me the future's bleak for Jordan Henderson. The performance, should I say, against Liverpool was very, very poor. And that may have raised doubts in Solskjaer's mind. There's been other incidents. There was another game. Was it against Leeds, was it? I can't remember now. And he came rushing out a couple of times. Or it could have been Burnley. I think it might have been Burnley. Some poor incidents in certain games. But I think David De Gea starting this game, you can look at it either way. You can look at it now, he's the first choice. He's going to start this game. Does he start against Wolves in the last game of the season? I would say no. I think Dean Henderson will start that. But David De Gea, for me, would start the final. He's been playing the cup ever since Dean Henderson was given the goalkeeping duties. Now, when David De Gea was the league goalkeeper, Dean Henderson was the cup goalkeeper. So when Dean Henderson becomes the league goalkeeper, then David De Gea is the cup goalkeeper. For me, it makes perfect sense. There's no issues there. One or the other. You split the duties. David De Gea could be leaving this season. So him starting today could actually be his farewell. It could be the final time he gets to play at Old Trafford, and today's with fans. So the fans can say, you know, we saw David De Gea's last performance. David De Gea is a Manchester United legend. Imagine he was on the bench this season, this game, and the next game he played was in the cup final. Cool, he wins the cup. The fans didn't get to see David De Gea's last Old Trafford performance, the last league appearance. They didn't get to see it. So I think you can look at it both ways. You can look at it either way. You can look at it that Dean Henderson is going to be sold, David De Gea is the number one, or you can look at it as this is a farewell for David De Gea. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know what conversation we've had about David De Gea. David De Gea may want to leave himself. Man United may need another keeper anyway. They maybe don't trust Dean Henderson. But it doesn't mean that if Dean Henderson is leaving, David De Gea is staying. Both could be out in the summer. One, because for personal reasons, David De Gea wants to go. Dean Henderson, personally, maybe they don't think he's good enough, and we have to go and get a keeper. We don't know. So I think Dean Henderson not playing this game, it doesn't answer any questions and probably raises more questions than actually answers from this. So I wouldn't read too much into it. Looking at the rest of the lineup, we've got Wan-Bissaka right back, Luke Shaw, player of the year for Manchester United. We'll get into that in a second. A left back, Lindelof and Axel Tuanzebe. Now, what I was just going to check actually is if Eric Bailly is on the bench, because he came off injured, if I am correct. When did he come off? He started against Liverpool. No, he started against Leicester. Did he start against Liverpool? Yeah, he started against Liverpool, and he came off in that game after. Well, he came off 86 minutes, and they brought on Matic. For me, that's his injury. That's his injury to me. However, let me check the bench right now. Eric Bailly is on the bench. He's on the bench, so he ain't injured, which is good because we might need him. But I think he's wrapping him in cotton wool. Tuanzebe will probably play this game, and you probably get again Lindelof and Tuanzebe against Wolves, and Eric Bailly back for the final. He wasn't great against actually, to be fair, Leicester or Liverpool. But for me, he is the better defender when you compare to Axel Tuanzebe, so we need him back for that final. In the midfield, we've gone with the derided Fred, McTominay, and Fred. The real question is, what other option do we have? And the answer is none. Yes, we could play Pogba and Matic, but it's not really an option when you consider the issues that they have physically. Then you play McTominay and Fred, but it's an issue when you consider the problems that they have technically. Whatever we play, we're losing something in that midfield too. Rashford's been rested, and maybe Rashford won't play or start anyway against Wolves either. He might get a run out here, a run out against Wolves, starts the final next Wednesday against Villarreal. So Pogba's on the left, Greenwood on the right. I expect Greenwood to start this and the Wolves game, and I expect him to be on the bench for the final with, of course, Edison Cavani up front. And Bruno Fernandes in the number 10. Bruno Fernandes, who is 2 times winner of the Sir Matt Busby Award back-to-back, which is the Fans Player of the Year voted. So again, let me know your thoughts on this lineup as well. Let me go through some of your comments. Big up Conrad. Tuanzebe starting a Neeks video, perfect day. Yeah, I didn't do a video after the Liverpool game. I was on the football terrace, and it was, and yeah, we lost, but it didn't mean anything for us. It meant more to Liverpool, to be honest. But I was on the football terrace for a while, and it wasn't an important game. Like for us, it's an important game because it was Liverpool, but the result in the end meant nothing in the grand scheme of things. In the moment, Liverpool won the battle, but the war we'd already achieved what we set out to achieve, what we aimed to achieve in terms of qualifying for top 4. Shane says, do you think Henderson deserves to be on the bench considering his game against Liverpool? Yeah, I kind of explained those reasons. I do expect him to start against Wolves next Sunday, the final day of the season, and I would hope that David De Gea is starting in the final. Yes, it was against Burnley. Conrad. Sammy says, no more Giroud, Marshall, or Lacazette to burn my eyes. Big Benz is back. Yeah, the rumours are, looks pretty much confirmed that Benzema is going to be back in the Euro 2016 squad. However, I'm also hearing Marshall. Sorry, 2016. What am I talking about? He did play in the Euro 2016, didn't he? I think he did. Can't remember now. I was actually talking about. No, he didn't. He didn't play in Euro 2016. What am I talking about? Who was there? Dimitri Payet and them, man, wasn't it? Gignac. Andre Pierre Gignac was up front. No, Euro 2020, which of course is going to be playing in 2021. But I'm hearing that Martial is also in the squad. So your eyes will be burned a little bit more. Because actually, let me just take the bench. I didn't read our full bench out with this lineup. Bailly, Henderson, Mata, Matic, Rashford, Telles, Diallo, Williams, and Van der Beek. So Martial is still out. We don't know. Maybe he'll get a few minutes against Wolves. I can't see him starting between now and the end of the season, whether it be Wolves or in the cup final. But hopefully, we have him on the bench at least for the Wolves game, and we can have him as an option for that final. Shane says, to be honest, I'm not convinced on Henderson or David here. However, I think that Henderson should be the number one next season, and if he isn't good enough, we have to buy a new goalkeeper. I'm comfortable with either one being the number one. For me, David here is the better goalkeeper, but neither of them are convincing right now. Shub Deepak says Fred, Pogba, and Bruno midfield, Greenwood, Ahmad, Cavani front three. Is that what? Oh, that's what you want to happen. Fred, Pogba playing that double pivot. Pogba don't want to do that job. There's too much defensive capabilities, and Fred isn't capable of holding that midfield down by himself. That's the problem. Antonio, big up yourself. Sammy says, yeah, 2014. So yeah, listen, Man United, isn't it? That's the lineup that we've gone with. I'll say it one more time. David De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Tuanzebe, Shaw, McTominay, Fred, Bruno, Greenwood, Pogba, and Edinson Cavani. Now, speaking of those players, the awards for Manchester United came out today for their player of the year. So we've got two awards. We've got Players Player of the Year, and we have the Fans Player of the Year, which is voted. Let me just bring that up. So yes, Bruno Fernandes was awarded the Sir Matt Busby Award for Player of the Year, voted for by the fans. And the award came in as 63% for Bruno Fernandes, Luke Shaw 21%, and Edinson Cavani at 6%. Now, I love all my players, innit? Some of them better than others, some of them more than others in terms of how much I like them, but I want all of them to do good for Manchester United. But some of our fans, they confuse me. I don't understand what goes through some of their heads. Bruno Fernandes, of course, for me, he's the best player. He was our best player this year. He was our best player when he's been our best player since he joined, which is a year and a half now. 28 goals, 17 assists in 56 appearances. That's 45 goal contributions across all competitions in 58. Unbelievable. The most amount of goals by a midfielder playing in the Premier League since Frank Lampard did so 11 years ago. Unbelievable season. Unbelievable. He deserves to win it. Luke Shaw, he deserves to be second place, 21%. And, this was probably proved in the fact that he won the Players' Player of the Year, voted for by the players themselves. And they have spoken about him. McTominay came out. There was someone else as well who came out and spoke about how good Shaw has been this year and why they voted for him. And all fair play. I have no issue with that. Bruno winning one, Shaw winning another one. This is another one that Shaw's won. I think it's 2 in 3 years he's won. But what I don't understand is how Edinson Cavani gets third place in the Fans Player of the Year. How did Edinson Cavani get third place and Greenwood get fourth place? Where's Rashford? Rashford and Bruno Fernandes carried us in the attack from the start to the season to the moment that we went top of the league. So January, mid-January to end of January. After that, Rashford's form's been very, very up and down. Very up and down. Cannot be denied. Bruno Fernandes went through a bit of a dip and he's come back on the other side and he's still contributing a lot. Even though that dip was more statistically rather than performance. He wasn't scoring or assisting, but his performances were still okay. And now he's got great performances as well as great output in terms of goals and assists. So Bruno Fernandes 100% deserves to win. But recency bias is killing my people. Because Rashford was one of the two reasons why we were even in a title race at any point this season. Marcus Rashford and Bruno Fernandes, and you give credit to others like Luke Shaw and Harry Maguire, but those two were carrying the attack. Martial has 4 goals in the league. 4. Greenwood only started scoring now. Greenwood came 4th. Greenwood, and again, we know the issues that he's had off the field. I'm not going at him. But Greenwood's only come on in the last 3 months, maybe. I would say from about, from the FA Cup. When we played Liverpool in the FA Cup, onwards, he'd come on. But where were they when we could have possibly got a gap to Man City? Where were they when we got knocked out of the Champions League? Rashford was the top goal scorer in the Champions League up until about the quarterfinals, even though we got knocked out of the group. Where were they when we needed them? They weren't there. They weren't there. Big up Zaza in the chat. They weren't there. But recency bias, Cavani, he made some crucial moments against Southampton, for example. Everton in the Carabao Cup. But he had injuries. He had a suspension. Him and Greenwood have now picked up the slack to kind of cement top 4. But the position that we got there was because of Bruno and Rashford. He's not even in the top 4. Pogba, for me, had a bigger say this season than both Cavani and Greenwood. But recency bias. Thankfully, there's only one award, and the award is for the first place. Cool. But I just don't understand how we can just completely forget. Like, we're top 4 comfortably because we got to a position where we were first. How did we get there? How did we get there? Some Billy Joe quit in the corner Saunders said Greenwood 9 goals and 1 assist in his last 11 appearances. Let me know if that's all competitions or just the Premier League. Either way, it's the last 11. We are on game week 37. What about the first 26? Where was man? Now, again, I'm not getting onto Greenwood. I'm just saying, how can you vote him above Rashford? It doesn't make sense. Recency bias. It ain't about whether or not Greenwood's got more talent or whether you think he's a better player. This season, Rashford has been our second best attacker. Bruno has been our best. Rashford has been second. That is just a fact. Call it what you want. People say, yeah, he's, tunnel vision, head down, run, frustrating. Yes, I get it. But his performances, whether it's for the 90 minutes or just in a moment, they are getting results. He is getting us points on the board, which is what your true drug. Man City are top of the league because they have more points than anyone else. Rashford is getting us points. Bruno's getting us points. I think a bit more respect, and people need to not be so short-term minded with their voting that Rashford's not even in the top 4. How can you have Cavani and Greenwood ahead of Rashford and Pogba? It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make sense for me. Cavani has been a very good signing. Don't get me wrong. In the back end of the season, he's come on. You know, in the Europa League, he scored some crucial goals. In the league, he scored some crucial goals. But we ain't won the league. We're top 4. How did we get there? Bruno and Rashford. That's my take on it, innit? Let's see some of these comments. Sammy says Sancho greater than Kane for United's needs. Maybe, maybe not. But the point for me is, why are we penny pinching with Man United? Sancho should have been there last summer. If we bought Sancho last summer, then we wouldn't have to weigh up, oh, should we get Sancho or Kane or Kane or Sancho? The money was there for Sancho last summer. So the Kane transfer shouldn't even affect Sancho because the money was there. Therefore, we should still be able to get him. Glazonomics is doing us the big disservice that we're having to pick and choose what world-class player we can buy. We need multiple. And if Pogba leaves, we definitely need them both. No one's going to buy De Gea with his big wage bill. We got to sell Hendo and get a new number 2 goalkeeper. I get that. I think, PSG, possibly, if we do sell him outside of that, then we might have to pay some of his wages. Shane says, I think Martial will play in the final, however, not in the starting lineup. Yeah, he can't start. He ain't even, it's not like a case of he's been great all season and we're dying to get him back now, so we're just going to play him even if he's not fully fit. He ain't done nothing all season. So what Martial are we even getting back when he's not fully fit? Shane says, I think Pogba is arguably top 3 best players at United this season. It's arguable. He's had his injury issues. That's the only issue. That's the only problem. He came on from about January, beginning of January. But then he was out again. But he's had those big moments, those big games, those big contributions. I would have Luke Shaw above him. And I'll probably have him or Rashford fighting over 3rd place. I'll still have Rashford. But he's definitely arguably top 3. Sammy says Martial fans are the worst on Twitter. I need him to be sold to Saint Etienne so they have to use illegal streams to watch him play. The most frustrating play at times, always head down, running into dead ends. You can say that, and he does frustrate. He does. But he also affects. He frustrates and affects in equal measure. I'd rather someone who frustrates and affects rather than someone who goes missing, someone who doesn't step up. Rashford, you can never complain or say he don't step up when called upon. He don't try and grab the game. He don't say, you know what? Someone needs to get this goal. Look how many late goals he's been in a part of. How many comeback wins he's been a part of. Brighton, West Ham away, Southampton, Wolves. There's so many. The FA Cup performance against Liverpool. There's so many crucial games that he has turned. PSG away, Leipzig at home. He has been turning up. Billy Joe should be Greenwood Diallo starting today with Cavani, but bottle job Ollie strikes. No, listen, we're playing at home for the first time in front of fans in over a year. I think they deserve to see our strongest lineup, give or take. They deserve to see these players and want the players to go out. You don't want to play too many, kids or rotated squad. And then the guys who are set to play in the final wouldn't have played for 2 weeks. You don't want that. You play them today, you rest them all on Sunday, and they're fully fit, refreshed for the FA Cup. For the Europa League final. For me, I'm happy with the lineup. Wan-Bissaka's had a good season. Wan-Bissaka, and he's got better and better as the season's gone on. His confidence on the ball, he's always going to be a bit awkward to look at, and but he's the confidence on the ball, the willingness to get forward, come on leaps and bounds. If he can get an attacker in front of him, a winger in front of him, I think it's going to be even better. Salazar says, Neeks, I'm Ollie out, but I love Rashi and Bruno. I get why people sometimes don't like how they play, but I know they fight for the badge, and you always get 1 or 2 goals from nowhere. I get why people don't like them play because they're very direct, and direct football is low percentage because you're going for a snapshot, you're going for a long shot, you're going for a pass that is probably less than 50-50. But when they do it time and time again, and they get the assist and they get the goal, and we're getting the results, at one point you got to say, well, you know what? I might not like it. It's not, maybe not my ideal way of playing, but it works. It works. And you need, for me, you need a combination of those players. You need the direct players like a Rashford and a BRUNO, and even a Cavani to an extent. But you also need a more technically gifted players who like to keep the ball, the Pogbas, the Martial, the Greenwoods. He's developing his ability to keep the ball. And hopefully you get a midfielder, a proper midfielder in there who can also keep the ball. You need, I think you need both. You can't just have, for me personally, it's Man United. We play fast attacking football. We're not tiki-taka. Just because it worked for Barcelona, I don't want us to be successful. If I could choose, ideally, I don't want us to be successful playing that way, playing the Man City way or the Barcelona way, because that's not our way. If it works, it works. Sucks, results is the be all and end all in the end. However you get it is not really that important. But my ideal of playing is how we grew up watching Man United. That 07, 08, 09 team. Fast, attacking, counter-attacking, technically gifted. You just want a mixture, the individual brilliance as well as the system. Wide attacking wing play, overlapping fullbacks. That's how we play. It's not the pass, side to side. That's not the way Man United played. We get a goal, draw them on, and hit them on the counter attack. Some of our best goals in our history of our best players have been scored on the counter attack. Rooney against Bolton, Ronaldo against Arsenal. Great counter attacking goals. Jeremiah says Rashford is playing injured people and people need to understand that. There's that as well. The man has been dragging us through with a bloody injury. Shane says, I think Rashford has been world-class in patches. However, Rashford has scored important goals even when he hasn't played well. He has 21 goals this season. Unbelievable. And I think in patches he has been world-class and performances have dipped at time. But he said even when the performances are bad, he still comes up with something. That's why people sub off Rashford. Why are you taking Greenwood off? Because if both of them aren't playing great and Greenwood is only just slightly better than Rashford still has the ability to have that moment to score or assist for the winner. He's proved it time and time again. So I understand. Sammy says Rashford steps up most times. Zaza, I don't get the Martial hate. I think I love all our players, even Maguire, but some are just not good enough. I don't hate any of our players. Martial needs to do better, but he needs to do better. And Maguire is getting some respect because we're seeing how much we need him. We're seeing how much we miss him when he ain't there. Shift says people need to stop moaning about McFred. We all know they are not good enough, but they are the best we have, and people need to stop overreacting like they don't know McFred won't be starting. I agree. Like, were you gonna say, "Oh, Ollie, you done it again? Why you play McFred?" What is the other option? We know the other options do not work. This is the most successful and effective, yet it also creates so much issues because they will lose the ball and we'll be like, "Oh, they're so terrible, they're so bad." And then matches will get run past, and Pogba will get run past, and then what? And then what? You have to pick your poison. What do you want? You want lack of physicality, but technical ability, or you want lack of technical ability, but the physicality? Pick your poison. Either way, we're lacking. Rashford is a big game player. Facts. Check his goal contribution against top six and big six, and then tell me he isn't good enough for United. You lot deserve Sanchez, Mkhitaryan, Depay, and Januzaj. I mean, yeah, I agree. If you're complaining about Rashford and you're saying that he should be sold, I saw a tweet that went out today, and we need to buy X amount of players. Then next season, Martial up front, Rashford sold, Bruno was out. I was like, well, mate, why you're trying to sell our best players? What are you doing? It don't make no sense. Amadeus says Ollie's being called a bottle job for not playing kids for a must-win game to secure second place. There's that as well. These same players, people call him a bottle job if you play the kids and lost. Says it all. Says it all. Me too. I became a fan 2003 when we lost against Real Madrid because of the way we played. Yeah, 4-3, great game. We lost the first leg 3-1, so we're always behind the 8 ball. Ronaldo hat-trick. As in Brazilian Ronaldo. Beckham got 2. I think it was. The Gig score 1. And maybe Van Nistelrooy, I can't remember now. But we won the game 4-3 in the end. Great game. But yeah, we lost. Ronaldo against Arsenal reminds me of Bruno goal against Brighton. That was a great goal. I think it was a pass. Was a hook pass from Matic in the middle. I think it was. Out to the wing. Who crossed it? The Greenwood crossed it to the back post and after it was after lockdown, wasn't it? And Bruno volleyed it in. However, I don't like Rashford play on the right. I think he takes too much out of the game, 100%. And we saw even against Liverpool when he came on and he could make that diagonal run inside and he got a goal, could have got a second later on. He's much better on the left-hand side. But again, it's the imbalance in the squad because then where do we play Pogba? He's better on the left. The only haters, most of them wanted Poch and he can't win the French league. I hope Lille hold on. I really do. Yeah, we'll do a cricket stream in due course. We got a series coming up against South Africa. You mentioned above here that the Villiers won't be coming out of international retirement. We've got Australia series coming up as well, so we'll definitely be back on that soon. Jeremiah says, I love Kane, but Sancho is our main priority, so Rashford can play less. We need options. We need a creativity from the right 100%. By the start of not next season, the season after, we're going to need a striker anyway. Unless we're going to say Greenwood's going to be the guy, we're going to need a striker. Is Martial that guy? Do we need to move him on? If you could say, for me, we should be able to get Sancho and Kane. We are Manchester United. We turn over billions every year. The Glazers have hundreds of millions. The Glazers have taken out 2 billion out of this club in debt repayment and dividends. We should be able to get both of them. And if we did, we got a chance of winning major trophies. But we're penny pinching again. The purse strings are tightened and they're talking about COVID. I don't want to hear it. But guys, yeah, listen, Luke Shaw, well done. Players Player of the Year. I think it's a big shout. It's a big kudos to him because he's come under a lot of stick, rightly so at times, harshly at other times. The way that he was treated under Mourinho, publicly and I guess privately as well, wasn't good. I think you'd say it was probably one of the worst times of his career. But he has come on leaps and bounds in the last 18 months, I would say. Since Brandon Williams broke into the team, I think halfway during last season, it was like, is Luke Shaw's position gone? Bam. Luke Shaw step on the gas. Then Telles came on and he went to another level. He has been absolutely brilliant. The last couple of games, he's been a bit shaky. He's finished the season strongly. Win us a trophy. Get us second place, win us a trophy. But he's been brilliant. Fully deserves this Players Player of the Year award. And again, Bruno Fernandes fully deserves the Sir Matt Busby Player of the Year. 28 goals, 7 assists this season. And we've still got 3 games to go. He could break this 30 goal barrier. I mean, he could break it today. Which would be absolutely amazing. But guys, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, share all the content, and I'll see you lot very, very soon. Come on, United. The fans are back. Give us a good game.